Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpa coming to you from in Vanagon in a place called the Jacksonville Arboretum. And today we're going to continue in Tales from Grimm. Grandmother gave me a hard time. She says kids shouldn't listen to Tales from Grimm. The Grimm brothers were evil, blah, 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 blah. Please wait until I'm dead to tell Grandmother I said that. So this is a special limited edition Tales from Grimm, a classic collection of favorite tales from Grimm. And this one is called Mother Holle, or Holly maybe. We'll say Holly. There was once a widow with two daughters, one pretty and clever, and the other ugly and lazy. The woman preferred the ugly one because she was her own child, whereas the pretty girl was really her stepchild. And that's something we see in these fairy tales, these folk tales, is people like a child who's not as cool as the other child because one's a stepchild and one's not. And your parents all dealt with stepchildren. Frank, you're a stepchild, so you understand firsthand how it's really difficult. It's difficult when I lived with Judy and we had Frank and Tom, but Judy had Alex, Becca, and Jim. So I had rules, and the biggest rule was that you couldn't favor your own children, that it just wouldn't work. The kids would grow up to be like, it would just mess them up. I don't know how well I did at that. That was the plan, but the best laid plans. The woman made her stepdaughter do all the work. The poor child was also forced to sit by the well and spin when all her work was done. Her fingers became so sore they would often bleed. One day while she was spinning, a drop of blood fell on her spindle, so the girl leaned over the well to clean it off. But as she did this, the spindle slipped from her hand and fell to the bottom of the well and disappeared from sight. The young girl ran and told her stepmother, who said, "You stupid girl, jump down into the well and get it." The poor girl was very frightened, but did as she was told. As she jumped into the well, she fainted. Don't try this at home. When she awoke, she found herself lying in a beautiful meadow covered with thousands of pretty flowers. The girl did not know where she was, so she stood up and began to walk through this strange and beautiful place. She had not gone far when she came to an oven full of bread. Take us out, the bread called, or we will be burned to a crisp." The girl quickly opened the oven door and carefully removed each loaf of bread. When that was done, she walked on and soon came to a large apple tree covered with fine, ripe fruit. But before we do that, there's only a couple pictures in this story. But here she is walking past the oven, and the bread's in there going, "Oh, we're hot, get us out of here." So then she comes up to the apple tree. shake me," cried the tree, "for my apples are all ripe." So the girl shook the tree until every apple fell off. She collected all the apples and put them in a neat pile. Then she went on her way. Before long, the girl came to a little house. There an old woman sat at the doorstep. "Come and live with me," said the old woman, "and you can be my helper. If you do my work as I ask, I will reward you well, but you must always make my bed properly. You must take care to shake it until all the feathers fly. Then everyone in the world below will say that it is snowing. You may call me Mother Holle." The young girl agreed to stay with the old woman, for she did not know where else she could live. She worked very hard, and she was used to working very hard. And every day she always shook out Mother Holle's bed until all the feathers flew. The old woman was very kind to the girl. She never scolded, and they ate good food. The girl was very comfortable, but after she had lived with Mother Holle for some time, she became homesick and said to Mother Holle, "I know that my life is much better here with you than it was before, but I miss my family and I wish to go home." You would say, like, why? But blood is thicker than water is the expression. So even though she has it better here, she misses her mom and her, I guess, half-sister, stepsister, whatever. Yeah, stepsister. Mother Holle was sad to hear these words, but replied, "It is right that you should want to go. And since you have served me so well, I will show you the way back to the world myself." So Mother Holle took the girl by the hand and led her to an open door. There she bade the girl goodbye. As the young girl walked through the door, a shower of gold fell upon her and covered her from head to toe. "That is your reward for being such a good girl," said Mother Holle. Then she gave her back the spindle that had fallen into the well and sent her on her way. Soon the young girl found herself once again in her own land, not far from home. When she walked into her own barnyard, the hen called out, "Click, click, click, cluck, click, clack, the golden maids come back." And here you can see a whole scene of the clucking chickens and then the golden maid. The stepmother heard the hens call and ran out of the house. Seeing the girl covered with gold, the stepmother welcomed her. The girl told her stepmother all that had happened. The mother wanted the same good fortune for her own ugly and lazy daughter. The next day she sent her own child out to spin by the well. The lazy girl didn't want to spin, so she pricked her finger with a thorn, then rubbed the blood on the spindle and threw it down the well. At once she jumped down after it. The lazy sister came to the same beautiful meadow that her sister had found herself in, and she followed the same path. When she came to the oven, the bread called out again, take us out, or we will be burnt to a crisp." "Tut," said the ugly girl. "Do you think I would make myself dirty just to help you?" She walked on and soon came to the apple tree. Shake me, it cried, "for my apples are all ripe." "You're all ripe with me." "Bah," said the lazy girl. "Suppose an apple should drop on my head and hurt me." And she went on her way. So she's doing things a lot different than her sister. How do you think this is going to turn out for her? When she came to Mother Holle's house, the old woman asked the lazy girl to be her maid. At once the girl agreed, and Mother Holle took her in. She explained all that the girl was to do. On the first day, the girl worked very hard, but on the second day, she became lazy, and on the third day, she wouldn't even get out of bed. She didn't make Mother Holle's bed as she had been told, and the feathers never flew. So it wasn't long before Mother Holle was dissatisfied and asked the lazy girl to leave. The lazy girl didn't mind this. She was very happy to go and thought to herself, "Now I'll get my shower of gold." What do you think, kids? She gonna get a shower of gold? Mother Holle led the lazy girl to the same door to which she had led her sister. But as the girl passed through it, instead of gold, a shower of pitch So we're talking about tar, the stuff, the black sticky stuff that they put on the top of roofs to keep the water out. So a shower of pitch fell on the child. "This is your reward for being so lazy," said the old woman, and she closed the door behind her. When the lazy girl got home, the hen cried, "Cluck, click, clack, our lazy girls come back." The pitch stuck to the lazy girl for the rest of her life because she was too lazy to rub it off. Peace out.